Hello students, this is Shachi. Welcome to my channel Red Chemistry. Today's topic, Matter in our Surroundings, Part 5th, is for Class 9. Previous topics have been discussed in Part 1 to Part 4. So for previous topics, please refer these videos. The link of these videos have been given in description box. Students, before starting, I want to remind you to subscribe my channel for getting information about further important uploads, and press the like button if you like this video and share this video with your friends. So now let's start the topic. So our topic is states of matter. Students, observe different types of matter around you. What are its different states? You can see that matter around us exists in three different states, which are solid, liquid and gas. What is the reason for occurrence of matter in these three different states? Children, the reason for occurrence of matter in three different states is due to different arrangement of particles in this matter. We will start our discussion with the solid state. For understanding solid state, we will perform a simple activity. Students, collect the following articles: a pen, a book, a needle and a piece of wooden stick. Now, sketch the shape of the above articles in your notebook by moving a pencil around them. If you move a pencil around it, you can see that it has a definite shape, distinct boundary and definite volume. The same you will find for other three objects. So we can conclude that solids have a definite shape, distinct boundaries and fixed volumes. Children, what happens if they are hammered, pulled or dropped? Solids have a tendency to maintain their shape when subjected to outside force. Solids may break under force, but it is difficult to change their shape, so they are rigid. Are these capable of diffusing into each other? Children, the objects which we have considered, I mean to say, we are considering a book, a needle, a wooden stick and a pen. They are not capable of diffusing into each other. So we can say that solids cannot diffuse easily into each other. But solids like potassium permanganate or sugar can diffuse in water or some other suitable solvent. This we have discussed in detail in part 1. Now, try compressing them by applying force. Are you able to compress them? No, you cannot compress them because particles in solid state are very closely packed. So from all these examples, we can observe that solids have a definite shape, distinct boundaries and fixed volumes. That is, they have negligible compressibility. Solids have a tendency to maintain their shape when subjected to outside force, and solids may break under force, but it is difficult to change their shape, so we can say that solids are rigid. Now consider the following. What about a rubber band? Can it change its shape on stretching? Is it a solid? Yes, a rubber band can change its shape under force, but it regains the same shape when the force is removed. And if excessive force is applied, it breaks. What about sugar and salt? When kept in different jars, these take the shape of the jar. Are they solid? Children, the shape of each individual sugar or salt crystal remains fixed, whether we take it in a hand, put it in a plate or in a jar. So definitely they are also solid. What about a sponge? It is a solid, yet we are able to compress it. Why? Children, a sponge has minute holes in which air is trapped. When we press it, the air is expelled out. So we are able to compress it. So we can conclude that a sponge is also a solid. Why we are able to compress it? Because it is a porous structure. It has minute holes in which air is trapped. So on pressing it, the air which was trapped inside these pores is expelled out. That's why we are able to compress a sponge. Now we will discuss about the liquid state. Children, collect the following items: water, cooking oil, milk, juice and a cold drink, and containers of different shapes. Put a 50 ml mark on these containers using a measuring cylinder from the laboratory. Students, this is a measuring cylinder. You can see that this measuring cylinder has marking. Now, what will happen if these liquids are spilled on the floor? Children, if we spill these liquids on the floor, then they will flow on the floor. Then measure 50 ml of any one liquid and transfer it into different containers one by one. Does the volume remain the same? Yes, the volume remains same. If we transfer it into different containers, then the volume will not change. Does the shape of the liquid remain same? No, the shape of the liquid doesn't remain same. It takes the shape of the container. Next point, when you pour the liquid from one container into another, does it flow easily? Yes, while pouring the liquid from one container into another, it flows easily. So children, we have observed that liquids have no fixed shape but have a fixed volume, and they take up the shape of the container in which they are kept. Liquids flow and change shape, so they are not rigid but can be called as fluid. I hope all these points are clear to you. Children, recall the activities which we have discussed in part 1. In these activities, red or blue ink was added in water, and in the second activity, copper sulfate or potassium permanganate was dissolved in water. And in these activities, we have seen that solids and liquids can diffuse into liquids. Children, the gases from the atmosphere diffuse and dissolve in water. These gases, especially oxygen and carbon dioxide, are essential for the survival of aquatic animals and plants. All living creatures need to breathe for survival. The aquatic animals can breathe underwater due to the presence of dissolved oxygen in water. Thus, we can conclude that solids, liquids and gases can diffuse into liquids, but the rate of diffusion of liquids is higher than that of solids. This is due to the fact that in the liquid state, particles move freely and have greater space between each other as compared to particles in the solid state. Now we will learn about gaseous state. Children, have you ever observed a balloon seller filling a large number of balloons from a single cylinder of gas? Inquire from him how many balloons is he able to fill from one cylinder? Children, the number of balloons that the balloon seller can fill using the gas cylinder is based on the size of the cylinder and the size of the individual balloons. Then, try to find out which gas does he have in the cylinder. Children, the gas is helium. Now we will perform an activity. Children, take 300 ml syringes and close their noses by rubber cork as shown in this figure. Then remove the piston from all these syringes. Leaving first syringe untouched, fill water in the second syringe and chalk powder in the third syringe. Then insert piston back in the syringe. You may apply some Vaseline on the pistons for their smooth movement. Now try to compress the content by pushing the piston in each syringe. What do you observe? In which case the piston can easily be pushed in. You will observe that the first syringe in which nothing was filled can be compressed easily. But second and third syringe were almost incompressible. So we can conclude that gases are highly compressible as compared to solids and liquids. Children, the liquefied petroleum gas LPG cylinder which we use in our homes for cooking, or the oxygen supplied to hospitals in cylinders is compressed gas. Then compressed natural gas, CNG, is used as a fuel these days in vehicles. Due to its high compressibility, a large volume of gas can be compressed into a small cylinders and can be transported easily. So we can conclude that gases are highly compressible, and this property we are using in oxygen cylinders, LPG cylinders and CNG cylinders. Children, I hope you understood these points very nicely. Then we come to know of what is being cooked in the kitchen without even entering there, by the smell that reaches our nostrils. How does this smell reach us? Children, the particles of the aroma of food mix with the particles of air spread from the kitchen, reach us and even farther away. The smell of hot cooked food reaches us in seconds. Compare this with the rate of diffusion of solids and liquids. So, due to high speed of particles and large space between them, gases show the property of diffusing very fast into other gases. Children, in the gaseous state, the particles move about randomly at high speed. Due to this random movement, the particles hit each other and also the walls of the container. Because of this random movement, as particles hit each other and also the walls of the container, they exert pressure. Because they are exerting force per unit area on the walls of the container due to their random movement, and we know that force per unit area is called as pressure. So what is the cause of pressure exerted by gases? The cause of pressure exerted by gases is their random movement. Because of their random movement, they are hitting each other as well as the walls of the container, and because of this random movement, they are exerting force per unit area, and this force per unit area is called as pressure. So in this diagram, you can see that this diagram is the magnified schematic pictures of three states of matter, where the motion of particles can be seen, and this motion of particles can be compared in three different states of matter. You can see that motion in case of solid particles is the least. They can only vibrate about their main position. Compared to solids, liquids can move to a greater extent. And in case of gases, you can see that they have complete freedom of movement. I hope this point is also clear to you. Children, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you understood each and every point very nicely. Please subscribe my channel and press the like button if you like this video, and share this video with your friends. NCERT questions will be discussed in next part. So please watch the next part also. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.